Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of my HTML tutorial for my website development series. And in this episode we're gonna get started. So yeah, first of all you gotta get a code editor. One which I would suggest is VS Code, Visual Studio Code. So we got it right here. You can download it by going to type here VS Code or go to code.visualstudio.com, and from here you can download and install the application. This is a program made by Microsoft, and yeah, there we go. Alright, so why don't you guys go ahead and install VS Code and let's continue on from that. So, after you get VS Code installed, you guys are probably not gonna have any folders here. I do have a few, but that's okay. We can go over here, right click and create a new folder. This is going to be called my HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Actually, I'm going to make separate files, my HTML course. Okay. And then the next thing that we have to do is make a new file and name it index.html. So HTML stands up for hypertext markup language. So that's what it means, and the version is HTML5. That's what we're gonna use, alright? And that's the latest version, of course. So yeah, now that you have the index file generated on VS Code, you can type in an exclamation and generate the basic necessity code. However, I'm gonna walk you step by step for the first time. So let's first declare a doctype HTML property. This will tell the computer that this is an HTML5 file, and that needs to be only once on the top of the page. Then HTML language, we're gonna use N, which stands for English, and then we're gonna make a head section. Alright, so the head section is a collection of metadata for the document. So over here we can, for example, set meta charge set equals UTF-8. Now you might be wondering, what the heck is UTF-8? Well, UTF-8 is a Unicode reference for HTML. So basically what that allows us to do is get different kinds of codes to make some like not so usual characters like these, or Cyrillic characters, whatever you want. There's all kinds of stuff here. There's even a clock. Oh yeah. So basically you can get the decimal or hex. They will both work. I'm gonna show you an example from here. So there's going to be a span. I'm gonna explain the span later, but this is the way to display a UTF-8 Unicode character. So let's go over here. I'm gonna make make a new line, another one. I'm gonna make meta http equals xua dash compatible content ie edge, and meta name equals viewport, and content is width equals device dash width, and initial dash scale equals 1.0. So what this line of code does, it tells the browser that this is a viewport. Now you might be wondering, what the hell is a viewport? Well, a viewport is this. It's your website. And then it's gonna tell the content. So the content attribute over here is going to be set to, I set the width to be equal to device width. So you can access the site from different mobile devices, and the initial scale is going to be 1.0. So that's gonna be like regular size. Also, one more thing you should do is either install live server. It's this one with 50 million downloads. You can go here, extensions, and then install. Or you can use live preview. The difference between these two is that there is let me make some space here. So a live server requires you to always press Ctrl S to save the file, but live preview, it updates the page automatically. So for example, let's create a paragraph of text. So we're gonna type less than p greater than, and let's say this is my first episode. Okay, and now we got our first element on the website right over there. So that's paragraph. Then I'm gonna show you one more important thing. Oh, I forgot to add the body tags. So here we go. Now we got a body tag. That's important. So everything inside the head section will be for all kinds of stuff that is not displayed on the web page. Everything inside the body element is going to be everything that is going to be displayed on the web page. Alright, now remember I took this code, not that code. I took this code earlier. So that was from right over here. We got it from here, from the Unicode UTF-8. So I'm gonna show you how it works. So basically we can insert it inside of this paragraph. Let's put it here. Ctrl V to paste, Ctrl C to copy, and so on and so forth. And now let's show the preview. And we have our symbol right over there. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave it over there. Alright. So the difference between a live server and live preview is that with the live preview I don't have to save the file always. It will automatically update the file right over here, as you guys can see. Let's remove the text and it's gone. I don't have to press Ctrl S to save. So that saves some trouble. However, that can cause issues. For example, in JavaScript, if you're making a while loop, which we will discuss later, that will cause some issues because the while loop will be activated immediately, and that means you're stuck in an infinite loop and your website will most likely crash. So or maybe even your computer, who knows. Anyways, that's one thing to avoid while using the live preview extension. I am using that, but you can also use live server, but always remember to Ctrl S to save the file. Alright, now that's out of the way, let's go to the second thing. Alright, the next thing is going to be this line of code here. What is HTTP equiv? Basically, it stands for a definition and usage. The HTTP equiv is an attribute that provides an HTTP header for the information or value of the content attribute, and in this case our content is IE Edge, and IE means Internet Explorer and Edge means Microsoft Edge. Alright, let's get back over here, and the HTTP equiv attribute can be used to simulate an HTTP response header. Anyways, now you might have the question, what is a attribute? So, attributes are all of these. These are all attributes. So, I'm gonna show you one attribute. I'm gonna include a little bit of CSS on this course, so I'm gonna make a new file that's gonna be style.css. And now let's add a class to our paragraph element. Let's say class my p1, p standing for paragraph, and let's go over here and select .myp1. This is to how to style the website. I'm gonna just briefly show you this now. So you can make different changes inside of here. For example, color red, but nothing is happening yet. Now, why is that? It's because we have not linked the styles file onto the index.html file. So what we gotta do is, well, that's a good suggestion. We could also add a title. I'm gonna do that later. Let's do the link. So we gotta add a link. Relation is style sheet and the href. If your file is right next to this one, your index, you can just type the file name. If it's inside a folder, you have to go into the folder and type a /. That's how to get a CSS. And now that it's linked, this is now red because I told the computer to make it red. So there we go. I'm gonna remove that now, leave this empty, and yeah. So there we go, we learned the link element in HTML. So link elements are used to link files and links onto the page. Alright, now let's get on. So here we go. I'm gonna introduce you to an element that's very important. So h1. And always remember that there are self-closing tags like the link, which are called void elements. The link element is a void element, and every single one of these is called an element in the HTML5 syntax. Okay, so self-closing tags, they don't need this in the after the content or whatever you're gonna put in there, but most of the tags do need. So yeah, I'm gonna introduce you guys to comments. So in order to make a comment that will not change the code or appear on the website, you have to make a less than and two dashes, three dashes. Come on, what is going on? There we go. So you gotta put a less than, exclamation point, and at least two dashes. Now I can write anything here. This is the start of my page. And as you guys can see, it will not show up on the page. So these can be used as notes for myself or other developers. There we go. Alright, and of course I'm gonna add a dash over there because otherwise it's going to block all of my elements. So if, for example, here was only one dash, there's nothing on my page anymore because all of this code is commented out. Let's add a dash and now everything's back to normal. Alright, so the H1 means header 1 or heading, I should say. Let's say welcome to my first page. And that is a large text, and this is very important for SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. So you gotta use the right elements for the right places. I could do this with a paragraph, with a class of heading, and say welcome to my first page, and then I could select the dot. We will use a dot to select a class attribute. So this is an attribute right over here. Let's select the heading. Then open curly bracket and close curly bracket. And let's make the font size to 32 and font weight bold. We can do the same thing with a paragraph element, but that's not going to be as efficient for SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. So we will be learning to use the right tags at the right places. And I can delete this from here now because we're not using it. So yeah, anyways, there we go. I am going to introduce you guys to a couple more elements. And by the way, check that your head element is on the top of the page, a less than head, greater than, and a less than slash head. So the syntax works like this. So you type in P and then you type in the same but with a forward slash over here. So yeah, that closes the element. If I didn't type this in, then my paragraph would continue over here. Or if I didn't, for example, close this in, then everything on my page would be header 1. So that's why it's very important to close these with a forward slash. I'm gonna introduce you to one more element. So actually a few. There's also H2. Welcome to my first page. That's a slightly smaller text, and yeah, it's used for headings that are not as important as the previous one. Then there's H3. Let me copy this. That's even smaller. H4, H5, H6. So there we go. We have 6 headings or heading elements on our page right now. So yeah, these are known as subheadings, and this is the main heading. So yeah, now you know that as well. So you can use these for example, if I had a link list over here, I could use h2 elements or h3 elements for that. Anyways, we can remove these for now. Just remember that the heading element goes from 1 to 6. Alright. And then I am going to show you one more element. So, in this series I will be teaching you guys all of the HTML tags, and I am gonna do them in an alphabetic order. So, we'll start with the tag A. Now, what does A mean? A is a link item. So we can type here, for example, go to Google. And then we gotta add an attribute. href equals www.google.com. And now when I click this link, it will take me to google.com, but it won't actually, because I'm on my private folders right now. If I open this, let's say over here, it should take me to Google. Actually, no, it doesn't. Okay, so what you have to type here, it's https://2 and then the address. And now this link will take me to Google. There we go, and here we have our page, and it takes me to Google. So yeah, that's the A tag. And if you're using live preview, you can open the website from here. If you are using live server, you can just right click and it's gonna be somewhere over here. Just look for open live server. So yeah, there is the A tag, and we can add all sorts of attributes here. So there is a lot of different attributes, like I'm gonna list them down here. I'm gonna make this a comment. There's attribute download, which will make it download a file. You gotta just put the value to or the href to equal the file you want to download, and it will download it to your computer. Then there's href, which stands for the location of a website or a location of a folder. Then there is hreflang, and this is an attribute that specifies the language of the link document. Then there's media. It specifies what media or device the link document is optimized for. And then there's ping. It specifies a space-separated list of URLs to which, when the link is followed, post requests with the body ping will be sent by the browser in the background. So that's backend development. We are not gonna go on to that yet. We are focusing on front end now. So yeah. Then there's an element called referrer policy, which has a total of 7 different attributes. There's no referrer when downgrade, origin when cross origin, same origin, strict origin when cross origin, and unsafe URL. And that specifies which referrer information to send with the link. So that's also a part of backend development. Then we have an attribute called rel, and we actually used that already right over here. So the rel stands for relationship, and the relationship with this link attribute is the style folder, which is right over here. Alright, and then there's target. I'm gonna show you that one. We can make target to equal underscore blank parent self or top. If we make it blank, okay, well now it's not gonna do anything. We gotta add an href attribute. Let's go to https google.com. So it will open it in a new folder like this. Instead of, if we remove this target blank attribute and then go back here, it will take you straight to Google. So it will not open a new tab. Okay, and then there are a ton of different attributes for the relationship attribute, and they are listed down here. There's alternate, author, bookmark, external, help, license, next, no follow, no refer, noopner, prev, search, and tag. So yeah, there's a lot of attributes. We necessarily don't need all of those, but I'm probably gonna go over them anyways. And then there is the type attribute, and that specifies the media type of the document. So I could say type equals double quotes, and then over here I can say, for example, that this is a text / HTML file. Now we really don't need this attribute, but it's there if you want to use it, to just make it clear that this is a text and HTML file. Alright. And that's gonna be it for all the A element attributes. So yeah, I also misspelled google.com over there, but well, yeah. So the most important things right now are doc type HTML, the head section, and the body section. And remember to add these closing tags with a forward slash onto them. So yeah, there we go. So now you guys have learned the basic syntax of HTML, and you guys will learn so much more in the future. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope somebody is interested in this. And we could add some spaces over here so the code is more readable. But anyways, we will continue this in the next episode, and let's see what kind of website we will end up with at the end of this series. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye everybody.